Good afternoon. This is Veterans Talk. It ain't nothing but a thing, but it's a thing we want you to tune into every Saturday afternoon. I'm Elson McGee, your host, and we're here with my brother in Christ and soldier in the hood.
Yes.
Soldier in the hood. Listen, Brother Tony, how you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
We're good, because we're here today doing the same thing we've been doing ever since we started the show, trying to make sense out of a sensitive situation called the plight of veterans in the United States, and the United States with the plight of veterans. And we're just veterans talking to veterans and the community about all things veteran and all things the community to make a difference. Now, I'm upset right now, and I've got to do something about it, Tony, with the VA Medical Center. I got a call from Brother Amos King. Brother Amos King, he's with Justice for Veterans out in DeKalb County. Okay. He's that brother that you see on television that raised the Anthony Hill issue where the police was actually convicted for killing a naked veteran.
Yes.
But so Brother Amos is in the VA hospital now. I didn't know that until the day he called me, because I was out there all day Thursday myself, getting care, the care I need, the care I deserve, and the care every veteran deserves when he is ill and got ailments. Well, Brother Amos been out there for about 37 days and going, but now they want to put him out the hospital. They don't want to give him rehab, and he had nowhere to go in terms of getting the care that he need to be stable, to be functional when he leave there. He's on the walker, so he need rehab. He needs stuff to help him when he get home. And the VA giving all this lip service about what they doing for veterans all over this country. And we watching it here in the ATL, and it smells. It smells of just publicity and promotional stuff, not of the reality when you get out there to the hospital. But they in the latest release of the on February 7th, we got a digital newsletter from VA talking about what they doing for veterans. So we need to make sure that they are doing what they say they are doing, and when they ain't doing it, the community need to know.
Yeah.
So that's why we're here, brother. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here today. We before we get really into it, I want to make a couple announcements that I want people to know that we are raising the bar in training and getting 10 individual claim agents trained and put to work in the community with Healing Our Village Claim Agency, which our chapter partnered up with Healing Our Village Medical Center to set up this agency with the medical center, where this is historical, Tony, because nowhere in Metro Atlanta will you find a medical center doing claims. See, because now I'm going to tell you the most critical part. I bet somebody's calling about the show. The most critical part that we have in the claim process is getting the right medicals, having the right proper diagnosis, the diagnosis being such as what the VA has already determined to be a disability. And so they can do better nexus letters, they can do better DBQs, they can make sure that you are getting the right medicals to get your benefits. Pure and simple. So they're providing the training. It's a 30 contact training requirement where you got 21 of them online. So the candidates for this training must have access to an internet. Got to have Wi-Fi and a computer. It can be a laptop. It can't be a smartphone. It got to be a laptop so you can print stuff off. It got to be a laptop or a desktop. And they can it's a 3-month training expedition. And when they finish training, they'll be certified by VA. Now the certification of VA is kind of slow, but the process is that once you file and you're qualified, you know what you're doing, you can start practicing until they go through the applications and approve them, because it's a slow process. The VA went through a major employee challenge during the first Trump administration.
Okay.
He left 250,000 jobs vacancy in the VA, and he privatized a lot of the VA services. They look like what? They look like the exam system, where you every time a veteran filed a claim, he got to go to an exam outside the VA. And the VA used to do these exams, but now they was privatized by Trump during the first administration, so they're all over everywhere. And Kenny is in the audience today, like he usually is. He went through trying to deal with them folks. Now, the truth of the matter is, he didn't really need an exam. They just need to recognize that he's already been recognized by VA as 100% disabled. Disabled. Now, based on conditions that everybody that went to Vietnam had, some of them, right? Heart, diabetes, hypertension. These are on the list, right? Now, what the Congress had done was just recognize certain spots where the Agent Orange was, so the presumptions are just for those areas. But they know that there was hundreds of other locations where this stuff was, and veterans was handling this stuff before it got to Vietnam. See, because it didn't make itself and jump to Vietnam by itself. It had military personnel transporting it, moving it around, and even testing it in some places, like Fort Gordon, Georgia, where I went to AIT. And most Georgia veterans went through Fort Gordon. I mean, us folks stood, you know, they went through bases that was close to their hometowns. So we got to get people to understand and make all these connections, so they'll see that thousands of our veterans out of the same communities that we are honoring, these though paid the ultimate price, came from. They came from here. They didn't come here. They're from here, right? And they served in the U.S. military with absolute loyalty.
Yeah.
Pledging allegiance to the flag every day. You know?
Yeah.
Saying that, you know, a land of opportunities, freedom, equal opportunity, and justice for all. And here we are, looking at the plight of veterans and seeing the plight of veterans with Colonel Amos, you know, and with Kenny Allen, and veterans throughout our community, throughout our community. They just being shortchanged, just straight out shortchanged. And we're making a difference with this training center. We're setting up this training center. This is going to be kind of historical, because we will be able to talk to the people that doing the diagnoses and writing the medicals. You know, doing the diagnosis and writing the medicals. And we'll be able to alert them to how the VA gonna look at these diagnoses and medicals. And they will fashion those for the veterans' benefit. So this is glory, Tony. You know, another move by this chapter, by our chapter. Now I'm going to talk about some other moves by the chapter, because one of them came under threat. Then I want you to chime in. But the Fulton County Veteran Service Program, which we got started, we went through 3 years. We gave out $3 million, right? They say we helped 4,000 veterans, more than 4,000 veterans. Now,
Okay.
I ain't gonna go into that part right now. We just gonna put the facts on the table so people will see that this chapter is working. We do more than sit here behind this thing every Saturday. We out in the community every day, volunteering, trying to make the community aware, so we can uplift our community in the name and the honor of those that paid the ultimate price. Because I believe, had they returned to the community, they would be working to make it better too.
Oh yeah, yes.
They would be working.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do it in their honor.
In honor of, yes.
In their honor. And we're going. The other thing we're gonna be doing at Club E on the 4th Thursday of this month, we're gonna have a town hall meeting, and we are reaching out to all of the mayors. So y'all, I hope y'all can see it now, because we're gonna get it in the emails. An invitation to come to Club E at 3707 Main Street, and we're gonna introduce the total program of the Sons of Atlanta Vietnam War Memorial Project to them, because we're about to groundbreak with the memorial first phase. We're about to get that done. Now we're getting ready to go into the communities in their names and a memorializing experience that's gonna change the landscape of the communities that we go in, because we're gonna see why we got so many guns in the street. Automatic weapons need to be gone. You know, we're gonna have the community cry out for sensible gun control, sensible gun ownership, lessons and teachers and commands. Because see, when I was in the military, I was in infantry, Tony. They issued a weapon to me, and if anybody else got it and did something to it, I was responsible for it.
Yeah.
I was responsible for my weapon. So I ain't got no problem with the people having weapons, but I want you to be responsible for them.
That's it. You know, it's one of those situations where we're all upset about the fact of the murders that are going on, but we want you to be responsible. If you're responsible for your weapon, we don't have a problem with that, because you're going to care for the weapon and secure the major thing is securing the weapon, so people that shouldn't have access to it get access to it.
Especially when you're letting your babies get
Exactly.
that killing.
Exactly.
So we that's all we asking for.
Yes.
And we are also asking the businesses to listen. Come on, man. We know that the government has been seized. We got problems in the government right now, but business can pay their workers a livable wage.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to pay their workers a livable wage. $12 and $15 an hour is not a livable wage in this economy.
Nope.
And they need to stop acting like that it is, when what they doing, the lack that they creating in the community is causing crime, Tony.
Yep.
Like this, I'm gonna just give you a perfect example of what we could do. If they would go out to Fort McPherson, right? They got buildings out there. I was discharged from out there. They got more building space out there right now that we can go ahead and sweep up and clean up and, fix up, because they got showers, everything, and take everybody in Atlanta, Fulton County off the streets that's homeless. Put them in barracks.
Yes.
Stop the pimps. Put them in barracks. And get all those people that want to truly work to help homeless, work out there. Make sure that they're getting the services that they need to change their lives back to normality, to stabilize them. We had, the Fulton County said that they was putting out that money for 3 categories, right? Economic stability, mental health, and homelessness. They said we did 4,755 veterans over that time period. Something wrong with the report.
Yeah.
Because what an impact. You might have touched bases with that many veterans. But what kind of impact did we have? Did we change the course of their plight? That's the intent that me and you went down there lobbying for.
Right.
We didn't go down there just to have somebody encounter the veteran and put them in a room and charge them $800 a month. We didn't do that. We thinking that they're going to do the 3 categories, right? The 3 categories. Economic stability, meaning that get them back in a predicament where they can pay for their lifestyle every day. They got all these job vacancies everywhere in the community right now. They need workers.
Yep.
Most of these people can work. Those that can't work need to be on disability. So that's what VA disabilities for. You got two tracks of disability at VA. One of them is called pension, right? That's when you got disabled and it ain't got nothing to do with your service. Ain't got nothing to do with your service. That's pension. It's called an honorarium. But every veteran is eligible for that disability if they serve 1 day during a period of war. And we had several wars and that you qualify for. The problem, and the other one is compensation, right? Compensation is when the illness that the veteran is suffering mostly service related. It either happened during service or as a result of something from your service, right? So there's a large pool of money that's allocated for this every year with tax money, because that's a budget issue. And they do it, but now, do they do it enough to cover all of this? Something wrong if you got over 250,000 veterans homeless in this country any given day. They're not doing it right. Somebody is not doing their job, as it's supposed to be done. So I agree with that Trump coming on with cut. I know he's doing that to privatize stuff. I know he about the dollar. But some of this stuff do need to be cut and redirected. Because there's a lot of waste in government. We just got to face that fact. But when you going to do that, you don't go in there and close the agency or gut the agency. You go in there and rehab the agency. Rehabilitate the agency. Fix it so it work for the people. Don't go in there and privatize where it work for your company. Because the two privatizing stuff that we got out of the first Trump administration was the exam system and the community care. You can go to community care. If you go to the VA and you don't get your you need care, and the VA can't do it, I think within 60 days of you needing it, they send you out into the community to a private doctor, which they have already identified these doctors and got them on a list. We just not getting that information and those accesses in our community. But now we about to get that, because we're gonna be in every library and community center in Fulton County. We're not going in there action to create no buildings for what we finna do. Right. We already got buildings there that's doing it, And I'm gonna say, the Metropolitan Library has been wide open to us, because they let us come in there and do what we want for free without cost. Yeah. All the community centers in Fulton County have been open arms to us without paying anything. So we're not going into these centers talking about now you got to pay this or you got to pay that or you got to have all of that. We're going to use government structures that's already in existence in our community. We're not going there to recreate the wheel. We're going in there to use the wheel and make it roll better. Yep. Make it more sensible for people. In the name of those that we call the Sons of Atlanta Vietnam War.
The other thing about that we've had on this show is the fact that there are organizations like ours who are ready to help veterans. Yes. Not just, one of the things, I think we probably need to say it's not just male veterans. We got to occasionally bring it up. We have female veterans. Female veterans that have been underserved. Yes. Underserved. I'm going to just say they've been underserved because we've been watching this. They told you, I worked at the VA. They medically retired me to get me out of there. But I worked out there, and I wasn't I was an admin. So I was in a predicament where I'm rubbing shoulders with the decision makers every day. I'm handling management of clinics. I'm over the clinics. So I've seen how they just didn't have a lot of things for female veterans. No. Yeah. Just didn't have. Now they start doing it, and we get a Secretary of the Defense.
I'm gonna hold my talk about that because I want to give everybody a chance to see where they at.
Yes.
Because see, they're there now, whether we like it or not. They're there now.
Yep.
What we do, we got to just see how they doing. If they are doing a Project 2025, we're not gonna let that happen.
Right. Yeah.
We're gonna stand up against that. That's not democracy. What they're trying to with that. That's a dictatorship.
Yep.
And we watching them throw stuff out there that's totally illegal. The courts got to block the president's agenda because his agenda is in violation of the Constitution of the United States. We need to keep a watch on that. That which we need to keep on because, see, I've seen too many young men die for this democracy.
Yes. Yes.
And that's
young
what we
men
talk.
and women.
Men and women.
Men and women.
Too many of them.
Yeah.
But we'll represent those from Atlanta right now. Those that we know that we've been working to lift up for 10 years. Don't it? It's been a while. Been a while. We've been lifting them up, and now we got them up. We got them lifted up and we're going into the community where they come from, where their families are known, where their names mean something, and they're gonna remember them because we're gonna have their faces all over the community. All over the community.
One of the things particularly that we are reaching out and exposing are the women. We have several women organizations that are there to help, not just women, but they're there to help the community. But they're like an unknown voice. For years and years, they were there doing their thing and everything. But now we're giving them an opportunity to have a voice in the community, so that those that aren't familiar with them will know, particularly the women. And I'd venture to say, some of them will say, I had no idea, that there are organizations out there doing things for women.
No idea. And
And
they've been forced to do it like that because they've been ignored, Tony, and deprived of their rightful place in the community, understanding value system. Because we've been blessed, man. We got this the Black Military Women Association.
Exactly. That's where I was going.
And they are some amazing sisters. We had one of them is ran for office because of what we talk about on this show. She's down there. She's a winemaker. Now she realized that they got entrepreneur stuff going on in that group. And that's so beautiful. They're disabled veterans, though. All of them are disabled, Tony. That's amazing, man.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. They have served and they incurred disabilities while they're serving. Go ahead, Tony.
You remember the movie Hidden Figures?
Yeah.
That's what we're looking at. That's what we're giving visibility to those hidden figures.
Yes.
It's really, really exciting to be a part of it here, because most of the community has no idea that women exist and are doing the things they're doing. It was like, particularly when we were in, most of the women, they were nurses.
Yeah. But now they're in combat.
Yeah, they're officers. They're not just. And
leaders.
Yes.
And see, we got to keep lifting our sisters up, and we let them know that too, because see, we got this thing among too many men in our country of all races. They got a thing with women leadership.
Yes.
And I'm sorry for their ignorance. I'm sorry for their ignorance. So we're gonna bring to knowledge them. So we, it's just sad that, and I heard this even from men in my family, that they wasn't ready for a woman leader during the last election. That's why they didn't vote for Kamala Harris.
And look what we're dealing with. Look what we're dealing with.
You know what? They said for every reaction there's a reaction.
Yes.
Well, the reaction that we getting now gonna make us repent. They're gonna make us repent, and that's why I'm saying we need to keep lifting up our sisters in the military, because they have been in leadership roles that haven't been elevated
exactly
to knowledge in our community. So we got these knuckleheads that running around here talking about, ain't no woman gonna lead me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry for them, man. I do.
Yeah.
You know, Tony, I do. Because my mama could have been president. Tell folks all the time, my mama could have been president, and she gone. She gone.
Yeah. You know, not just that, they ran the families.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you truly look at, particularly, I'm speaking from my family and everything, it was the women that were running the family. You know, my father was a provider. But when a lot of major decisions need to be made, my mother stepped up.
Well, see, I'm gonna tell you that. But I'm gonna tell you what. That generation woman stepped up with their husband full support.
Exactly. There we go. That is another factor. You're right.
So let's give our daddy some credit.
Yeah. Yeah.
My dad used to tell me when I was working for him, right? I want to know why he paying everybody else and ain't paying me. Everybody on Friday getting a paycheck except me. I asked him one day, I said, Daddy, how come I can't get no? He said, you getting paid every day.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out. He said, just ask your mama. Talk with your mama. So we got to bring this family dynamics into play too, Tony. You know,
exactly.
we got a problem in our community now with probably 55 to 60% of the household are heads up by single females.
Yeah.
And the church ain't feeding them, ain't be nourishing them, ain't giving them the support that they need. You know, by getting mentors in their homes for their children. You know, you ain't got to be
both male and female children. Yes.
Yeah. They need mentors that we can do.
Yes.
You know, that's why, I'm so glad that we are elevating veterans so we can call on them, man. Because you got some of the best disciplinary figures in the community that you ain't even using.
Yes.
And they stand up in the church every Sunday, too.
Yep.
You know, they stand up in the church and the preacher just dispatch them. You know, I used to dispatch them when I was pastor. They looked at me like, you acting like Dr. Carver. You gonna tell us what to do. Dr. Carver had, he was a sergeant major, so he dispatched me to go do something, I'm gone. But when these young men that haven't had that kind of discipline to follow orders, right? You might have growing up in your family, you're gonna follow some orders, but not like you got in the military. You're going to follow every order.
Exactly.
See, you could get away with not following some orders that I got a whooping about it, but you could get away with not following some orders in your family, but you had a job detail that you had to perform in the military, and if you did not do it, they started that little paycheck, that Article 15 be the first thing you get.
But we got the same thing at home. If we were given a task by our mothers and we didn't perform that task, if they couldn't handle that situation, we were sent to the higher person and the higher provider. And all I had to do, in fact, I didn't have to do anything. I'd see him. And I'm going like, okay, I need to take care of this.
I need to do this before I get to him.
He didn't say. And it was the same thing like the military. They were there, and they had the rules, and you knew what the rules. So if you violated that rule, you had to pay the consequences. Same thing. I look at my fault. If I violated that rule, I knew my consequences.
See, Tony, the thing was, we was taught discipline from this side.
There you go.
See,
that's another
discipline
factor.
is something that got to be taught to a child, to a person. That's why you need to see people used to come in the military and doing basic training, they get put out. They get sent back home because they don't have the character, the aptitude to adapt to that training in that short period of time. So the military ain't got time for that. They put them out.
They're not there to raise you. They're there to train you for a specific job.
For a specific job. So we got to try to keep doing what we're doing, brother. Because even though they messing up with the Fulton County Veteran Empowerment stuff and the Veteran Service Program, we got a blessing in the leadership that we got at the end of the term.
Exactly.
We got two young ladies. Two young ladies, both of them veterans, both of them female veterans too.
Yep.
that I honor that leadership, right? You know, I'm gonna be there to try to help them do whatever they got to do.
Exactly.
Because I got an email from Dr. Brown. I'm gonna send it to you, man.
Mm-hmm.
She was talking about. I asked some questions. She come back and started telling me all the breakdown. You know that we need to look at. Sound like a sergeant major to me, so I'm gonna do it. You know, so she delineate what we got to do to make this work.
Right.
You know, because she's thinking like a soldier. You know, and she knows she got some soldiers on her team.
Yes.
You know, so she ain't trying to downplay none of them. She know how to work each and every one of them, man. So we got the leadership we need. We just gotta get this team fully staffed. We got to get that fully staffed, which she's absolute ready to do. And so we're gonna go down and see where our pitch one day. This weather, because this weather good, ain't it?
Yes.
This weather good, man. After coming out of that snow, I'm not the cold weather type.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy your peach for real.
Yeah, that's right. We've been here. We were raised in here.
Raised here.
You know, in those formative years. In cold weather. We knew cool weather, but we didn't know any cold weather.
Not no ice like that.
No.
All that stuff. That wasn't there. But Tony, I'm so excited, bro, about CBC and what you've been doing at CBC, keeping them informed.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to appear Monday morning to give CBC churches an opportunity to get some of their people in this training if they want to, because this is a step now toward this is a trade that we giving these people that finish this class, because they'll be able to go to work the day they finish the class. You know, they come to Center gonna hire them. You know, so we are creating opportunities before we even get into the second phase of the Sons of Atlanta Vietnam War Memorial, because it's the platform that enable us to go to pits, to go to these politicians and talk with them, and become a part of boards in the community that advises these elected officials on what the community needs. And you know, I'm just so excited about how this thing is developed and the potential that it has, because I'm thinking that when we leave there, we're going to have enough young veterans on there, both male and female, that going to grow this thing to the point that Fulton County going to become the best county in the state to live for veterans. You know, the best county. I was coming into College Park one day, coming to Club E, right, where we meet at, and saw that this is Purple Heart City now. You know, so they veteran service organization, they got about 2 or 3 in East Point and College Park, and all of us are in communication now. You know, and we're gonna be coming together to do some stuff. You know, because that's what this project is. It's a call to unity for veterans in our community. So we're doing it, Tony, in a way that, you know, a lot of people say, y'all been at this for a while. You know, change take.
Yes, but it's a process. You know, it's initially I wanted it tomorrow.
Right.
But I learned patience in everything. That this is a process, and not just for our organization, but the organizations that they're working with, particularly the city of Atlanta. They have been there, but that city process and procedures, they have their own rules and process, and we're learning to adjust to them. But they come through. They've stepped up and provided us with a lot of the stuff we need. We love more, but they've been there.
They've been there.
You know, the veteran empowerment, that's major.
That's major.
And the thing about that is we've got to get the management better off. Better thought patterns about how it should be run and how the funds should be distributed. And that's the biggie for me, how the funds are being distributed. You know?
Because they're going to people that self-verify. They self-verify. And, you know, one of the things that I know, and we know from being in the community, that most of these organizations were doing stuff before we got set up, and they was getting money then. They still get money, but then when we find a veteran in our district saying that they need these resources, ain't nobody there to answer that. So that's the problem. What you're saying, the way that money is being distributed.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
we need to be able to hold these vendors more accountable when they get the money to actually letting us see their process.
Yes.
Let us see them veterans in their programs.
To
so
see the process and see the results. You know, if they aren't getting the results that we believe they should be getting, then let's adjust. We aren't saying cancel the program, but we're saying adjust it so that it starts to meet the needs of the community.
Yes.
Because that's why we're doing what we're doing. We're trying to supply and affect the needs of our community.
Our community, and it's the money is being put there.
Yeah.
It was being put there. Now they talked about cutting it. You know, but Dr. Brown, again, she done interface with it and found out that they say we can get it reinstated later on in the year. That's just from her inquiring. Now,
Really?
That's what I'm saying. That's
Really?
leadership.
Yeah.
She inquired.
That's leadership with power.
Yeah, that's leadership. So they knew when she asked the question, they need to tell her something with some hope in the process. Not that, well, it's been cut.
Yeah.
Well, you might be able to get it back. We know we're gonna be able to get it back because we're gonna lobby to get it back. That's why we're going downtown.
Yep.
You know, we're going down and ask them why the priority change for veterans. You know, that seemed to be that okay, you shift the money to other programs that's you felt that's more deserving. What are the programs? I just want to look at them because I don't understand no unit in the community in the community is more worthy of the benefits of the community than veterans, unless they're children.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know, so I just want to see what the programs are that they shifted the $1 million to, and we'll talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
You know, one thing about our commissioner, he'll come to the show.
Yes, he will.
You know,
Yes.
he'll come sit here and talk with you and answer any question that you may have. But see, we ain't just bringing him up here. We're not talking about him because he's doing his role.
Yes.
He's doing what we need him to do because he reported that it was cut. You know, now it's up to us to get the response to, okay, it's been cut, no, but it ain't been cut. It's been redirected.
Yeah.
See, and I want to know, I'm going to look at the legislation and see whether they had the authority to redirect it like that. I don't know whether they had the authority to redirect that money to some other programs. You know, because this thing, you said something earlier about the management aspects of the program. The program, I think, was being too managed by staff. It was a little bit.
Yeah.
It was too. They was too over into. You know, they went beyond helping us. They went to doing what I thought we should be doing.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I felt. And so it's easy for bureaucrats to do that because they got to produce results in their job.
Yeah.
I know because I was a bureaucrat, Tony. You know, I know I had to make sure I produce in my reports every day. You know, my activity report I had to produce. I didn't change the schedule of the doctor. I got to tell what kind of impact that change had, or they're going to tear me up.
Yep.
So, well, we know how that works. So we're just going to work with these folks to do what we've been doing. And hopefully get with these ministers. You know, so not only will we be doing this kind of stuff of training service officers, claim agents in the community, other organizations can do the same thing. You know, we don't need to be the only ones in the community that's trying to increase the number of workers. So they say the harvest is great, right? But the workers are few. All of us need to be trying to get workers in the community. And that's what we're looking for people. If anybody want to volunteer and listen to the show, if you want to volunteer with Vietnam Veterans of America, you would get volunteer hours, whether those volunteer hours are required by the court or your job, or you just want to volunteer. You can come volunteer with Vietnam Veterans of America and work on any one of our different programs that we do. But we definitely need help with the Sons of Atlanta going into the community centers and libraries, you know, because we want live people there to give them the information that we gonna make available. Live people there to help them get the resources that they need, you know, rather than having You got all these people that say they want to help with rent stuff and with the electric bill, but most people that need it don't even get it because by the time they find out about it, it's gone.
Yeah.
We want to make more of that available, especially until these people start paying these folks more for their work.
Well,
why you sound like that?
That's going to be challenging with our new administration.
Yeah.
That's really going to be a piece of work.
Well, see, now I'm of the opinion though, they doing all this, throwing these things out there, talking about cutting this and cutting that, which they know they don't have the authority to do. They throwing it out there to get this do nothing Congress involved with doing what they want them to do. But what we got to do is get into the districts, right, and talk with the people to make sure the people truly understand what is going on with these cuts. Mm-hmm. See, they was talking. They cut this U.S. aid, right? They talk about, well, we shouldn't be funding the other countries doing this here. And the farmers jumped up and said, wait, hold, wait a minute.
Exactly.
You messing with us because these people buying this stuff from us to take overseas.
Yes. Yeah.
They ain't sending no money. I mean, it's the same thing about how he done trick people with the tariff. He telling the tariff gonna make money for the country. It's causing everything to go up for the consumer.
Yep.
Oh, they're gonna beat him down one day. Because the price of eggs, Tony. I love eggs too, man. You know, I eat eggs at least 2 or 3 times a week. Me and Kenny go to a place. I go up there and get me a BLT with them eggs on it.
Yeah.
The price of eggs done doubled.
Yes.
Since Trump took office.
Yeah.
No, I ain't gonna say that. I'm lying. They ain't quite double, but I'm saying 50%.
It depends on where you're shopping.
Yeah.
You know. If
you
go to Whole Foods, it's double what you were paying at Kroger.
Mm-hmm. And then Kroger's went up too now.
Yeah.
The pallets of eggs I used to get, and I like to buy a month, a whole month supply, right? And it's a 2-level stack of eggs. It was $10, now it's $20.
Yep.
In Kroger's.
Yeah.
And I don't go over to 2 stores, 3 stores and buy Kroger's, Walmart, and Piggly Wiggins. Mm-hmm. So they're the only stores in my community.
That's it.
Right? And all of them high. when I go in the grocery store, Tony, I get scared. I don't know what done went up that I like. You know, I got to shop careful.
But then everything's went up. We just don't know how much until you get there and see it.
Until you see it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to tell you something else you can watch. They got different prices in different stores.
Depending on the community. I go to the Kroger's on Cleveland. Okay.
I'm paying more for sodas than I would pay in the Kroger's on Dunley and Cascade.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay? Yeah. You know, there's a difference in the way the managers stock and sell. You know, it depends on what commodities the community is using most, the way they price it.
Yep.
And we need to tell them for one day, listen, first of all, your prices are too high, you ain't paying your workers enough, I ain't coming in there. Just straight up, I ain't coming in there. I'm not coming in your store until you do better.
Particularly towards your employees.
Yeah, till you start paying. And they be so frustrated, they're a problem when you go in the store.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you go in the store, the young people so rude and so stressed out, running around on Walmart, and they give you a hard time and don't even mean to. You know, I don't think they mean to give you the kind of hard time that they give you, and we know why. If you working 40 hours a week and sometime more, and you can't pay rent, pay child care, and car insurance or car you on the bus, you know, it's a mess.
Yeah.
So it's causing stuff that we need to address in the community, and we're gonna be doing that in the community centers. We're gonna have tutorials. So we need volunteers. You know, we got some people coming from Clark University, and we're gonna be reaching out to all the schools to come into the community and help us with these issues. You know, you got a lot of people going to become social workers. They can help. They can volunteer in the community and help with what we're trying to do, because it ain't going to take a whole lot with the things that are already there. We're trying to connect the dots. We're trying to connect the dots and watch them work. See, we want to watch them work because, see, Tony, it's a lot of good people out there that are working in the community, but then the issue is so hard sometimes because they're meeting people with mental illnesses and don't know how to help them.
Yeah.
They don't know how to get them care. You know, it's a mess. It's a mess, and we need to be able to go into the community centers with the love of God. I'm gonna just say that, with the love of God, because that's what it's gonna take. You know, to make the changes we're talking about making, because you know the hate and the belittlement of people that we see coming from all elected politicians and social media. Social media is teaching us how to hate, how to denigrate each other. You know, how to look down on each other. You know, I mean, the disrespect that the music cap of women is really totally destructive of households in our community. Totally destructive, because the mamas are scared of their sons.
Yeah. You know, I'm forever referring back to growing up and everything. In our household, never would a female, particularly a family member, be put down the way they do now.
In music.
And it's in music.
And all these little what they call reality things.
Reality shows.
Yeah.
And of course, the internet.
The internet.
You know,
they got it where you ain't got to have no respect.
Yeah.
No, you ain't got to exercise no respect for nobody. So how's that love?
Mm-hmm.
But then we don't get the preachers and the teachers talking about it. They come out there with more venom, more toxicity.
Yeah.
You know, you cannot fight hate with hate. You can't do it. That's what's tearing our community. That's what's tearing our neighborhoods up. You know,
it's you know, really.
Yeah, I know. I'm preaching.
But that's all right. But this stuff needs to be said. It needs to be, the voices need to be heard when it speaks against all the negativity that we're seeing and dealing with. And the disheartening part about that is the young people that are hearing it
and doing
and believing that this is okay to do these things, to say these things, to treat people like this. Yeah. And it's not.
And see, the thing about it, Tony, and I believe this, and we can see it in the stats in our community. Honor that mother and father, that your days may be longer and prosperous. Our young people are dying like dogs. Well, they're worse than dogs die. They're killing each other, man. Because you know what? There is not being taught honor thy mother and father in their homes. They got to be taught that. That's a basic law to development, Tony. I guess they think that was just something that they wrote in the Bible for just writing the Bible. It is a spiritual law. If you don't do it, we got the consequences. We see the consequences in our community today. You know, you got mamas scared of their children. They do. Because the children cuss harder than they do. Cuss harder and louder, you know. So the bully mentality that we got in the White House is in our house. All over the bully mentality. See, we got to realize that our children want to be like us. We got something to do. We got something to do, and we gonna start by this evening. I got the email the VA, and I want a question about Colonel King treatment at the VA right now, right this minute. As we talk, as we do this show, this brother is stressing out because they want to put him out the hospital and he's still sick. I think he's been there too long. The care. This is a military retired colonel, an officer in the U.S. military.
But yes, he should be respected. But so that new recruit, he just walks in and everything, and now he's a part of the military. He should get the same if he needs mental help. is that lieutenant colonel that's in there that's going through all the stress of all the deployments that he's had to deal with.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and he went in there for surgery. He just had that. Now they want him up and gone because he can walk.
Yeah.
They acted like a public hospital. It's not a public hospital. It's the VA hospital. It's the veteran hospital.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna get off that. I want people to go to our website, right? Mm-hmm. I want them to go to the website and look at some of the things that we're doing now and pass it on to the community. You go to the website sonsofatlanta.org and go watch live. Watch live. Click on that button and you go down every Saturday at 4:00. You can watch us live and start calling in and joining the conversation. Or you can look at some of the past shows that we've been doing over the years. Just go to that website, and while you're at the website, purchase a brick. Mm-hmm. Look at the faces on the website that we're talking about. Look at them. They most of them died before they were 21 years old. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But they died for what we have as a democracy, and they're from all races. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not just black and white. And this month is supposed to be Black History Month, but let me say, Black history is American history.
Yes, it is.
It's a part of American history, Tony. And why I'm saying that, I need to say this here. I think, man, you talked about it earlier. The history of our era is being not really recorded the way it need to be recorded, Tony.
No.
Because we ain't out there, and we ain't out there. We're not a part of being there.
Yeah.
And the history is being written by those that's there. Mm-hmm. So our faces are not in the history book.
Yeah.
Again, another generation. But except for here in Atlanta, we gonna make sure that because if we don't write our history, it might not be written.
Oh yes.
It might not be written.
If we don't write our history, we know what history will be written because it will be sugar-coated, told in a manner that it is socially acceptable, where the stuff we lived wasn't socially acceptable. You know, we lived through challenging times and had to deal with it. Yeah. This was something that was, well, it was negative. It was negative. A lot of the stuff that we went through was very negative. However, we survived it. But that part of our history needs to be told.
And Tony, it needs to be told in a way that people will appreciate the multicultural, multi-ethnic, multicolor democracy that we have.
Yes.
That we have, and it came from that era. You can see all kind of developments in this country when all the people start working together. You know, all races, everybody got something to offer. Ain't nobody no better than the other race, and we getting away from that. But then somebody, got the spirit of the Antichrist, has gotten into the people.
Yep.
Where they don't see that as something that they want anymore. They forgetting all the people that done died in wars and military catastrophe for this democracy. And we can't let them forget it.
Yeah.
We're not going to let them forget it. And we ain't going back to that era where we had to deal with hate, Tony, and fight a war at the same time. But you know what? I feel so good about it because we overcame that hate in the military. We reached, most of us reached a point where we not only recognized that we needed each other, we respected each other.
Yeah.
We respected each other and find ourselves actually becoming friends.
Yes.
So we're not going to go back. We're not going against that because that is the natural development for this country. And it's the best development, Tony, because look at all the creation that we got from the different races that contributed to different. Man, we got the richest country on planet Earth.
Yes.
And we didn't let somebody take the government from us. Yeah, they didn't took it for a minute.
Yeah.
They didn't took it. They didn't took the government from us, and they using the government to impose their evil ways. Their evil ways. Without thinking.
But we will survive this.
Oh yeah.
But
yes.
you know, I sort of like look at the silver lining. There is something that we as a country needs to see about us as a country, and these things that are happening to us is giving us an opportunity to see them. You know, it's everybody is not always open and receptive to this stuff, but it is there.
It's there.
And it's there. It's hitting us in the face. And at some point, more people are going to realize we're being forced to live in a situation that is contrary to everything that we've grown up with. We have never lived. Our democracy has never been a dictatorship.
No, never.
And we're seeing, you know, it's interesting how this present administration just slowly brought the idea of dictatorship, little, you know, bit by bit. They give us a little bit, you know, this is what we're going to do. And the scary part about it is, if you don't like it and you're an employee, retire. How can you retire from a system that is designed to care for all the people to one that doesn't care about any of the people? It's
and see, you know what? The major thing that he's doing though is showing a complete disregard for the democracy itself.
Oh yes, yeah.
And the bad part about it, Tony, those that have not overcome hate is caught up in his attraction, his lure. That's his base. But you know what? I reject the notion that there are more than 30 million people in this country that's caught up like that. But they got the capacity through media to project it as something really huge that done took place so that they can take control of our government. That can't happen. No. You know, we just not going to let it happen. Now we got to rally all of these elected officials that we got going to Congress because all of this was thrown out there, done so that he can get this Congress that he basically got control of in terms of numbers, right? But not, I don't think he got control in terms of heart. So some of these people gonna wake up. You know, they already got some issues with him. And they just been going along to get along, but now it's going to hitting them in the face in their own districts, right? Just like when he did the USA thing, cutting all them folks out. He didn't even think about the farmers that he was going to be hurting.
Yes. You know, those people that he was putting out of the country were the people that were picking the vegetables that keeps us alive.
Yeah.
You know, and all of a sudden you go like, how come we don't have fresh vegetables? Because you send them out of the country.
Yeah, and why does it cost so much?
Yeah.
You send them out of the country.
Yeah.
And another thing, why can't nobody, ain't nobody buying the farm products that they've been sending overseas?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Billions of dollars of farmers right now are suffering, looking like he hit me in the face too, because most of those people voted for him.
Exactly.
Now they saying, oh my God, this man is absolutely everything Mitch McConnell said he was.
Yep.
He's a con man. He done con me.
Yep.
So they're going to see that God is still in charge.
Oh yeah.
Right? They're going to see that God is still in charge. Yeah. Every time the people fall away from the word of God, he going to send a reason and a power through there.
Yep.
To get them straight, even if they had to stay in the desert for 40 years, and all of them die out. I mean, you know, we got to really keep it real though, Tony, and we got to keep doing about what we're doing because it's so essential right now that we talk sense into this senseless situation.
Exactly.
We got to talk sense in it. We got to get these people to thinking now. We got a good opportunity too. They're about to have a major event come to Atlanta, where they want all these homeless people gone. They don't want that as a sight. So they might be a little open to some good ideas that ain't gonna cost them the kind of money that it costs in Trump to get all these immigrants out of the country. He's spending more money trying to get them out. I said, man, this man is, But you know, that was what they voted for, and he kept telling them he was going to be a dictator.
Yeah.
And that now he's showing them to find people that he can't fire. He can't find those people.
Yeah.
You know, not in the mass like that. You know, you got to go through merit. They got a law, but government employees got to be merited out. You can't just, and so the government ain't got enough money to pay for all of them to be merited out. They can't. And then hire some more.
But
no,
where they gonna hire them from? You know,
they ain't got no money.
You have trained employees that you're getting rid of to hire employees that aren't trained, to have no idea how the system works. And
that's the way he wanted, because he want to reshape this into a dictatorship that's ran by a handful of folks, right? By a handful. That's the way dictatorships run. But see, what they forgot in this country, like no other country on planet Earth, every village in the world got somebody here.
Oh, yes.
So you got more people of color now here than actually not.
Yeah.
And that the right thinking people that are not of color ain't gonna go along with the mess that he's talking about.
Yeah.
So the mass of the people is gonna stand up against this.
Yeah.
You know, if they don't recognize, they're not gonna be able to beat you and make you go to work. Yeah. That's what they did to slaves, right? They beat you and make you go to work.
Yeah.
They can't beat you and make you go to work now. If you decide that everybody decided, well, okay, that's the way it is, we ain't going to work. I mean, because they're going to take it anyway.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to take it anyway. They're telling you, I'll fire you if you don't do what I tell you to do. I don't care how illegal it is.
Yeah.
He's upsetting the FBI. I mean, if the FBI was that corrupt, why didn't they deal with it when Dr. King and all the people that they done got prosecuted in the country?
Or even Barack Obama.
Yeah.
you know, if you're going to go that, just go all the way to the top. You know.
So we gonna ask the people to do one thing. Tony, you're gonna ask them.
We're gonna ask you to come out and support the Sons of Atlanta. You're going to be amazed at what our organization is doing for the community. Of course, our major project, of course, right now is the Sons of Atlanta Vietnam War Memorial. And we want everybody to come out and support it. Come out, purchase that commemorative brick, become a part of a memorial that's being built in the city of Atlanta. If you look right at your screen now, you'll see an example of what it's going to look like. And we're very proud of this memorial, and we want everybody to be a part of it. You know, here's an opportunity. If you are a veteran and a son of Atlanta and attended one of the many high schools here in Atlanta, here's an opportunity for you to become a part of this memorial, as you are a part of the city of Atlanta.
Yes.
So sonsofatlanta.org, purchase your commemorative brick, and become a permanent part of a major memorial that's being built in the city of Atlanta.
And it's in Piedmont Park, where they're about to make some major change, and we are part of that change that they're making in Piedmont Park. And I tell you what, next week, do the same thing you're doing this week. Watch us, share our broadcast with your friends, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram. We are here as a voice for the community. If you got something to say and you want to be on the show, just come on back. If you don't want to say nothing and want to be at the show, we always got a live audience, so you can participate right from the studio every Saturday afternoon. So be blessed, take care, and we'll see you next week. Yeah, at the same time, doing the same thing. Tony, thank you, brother.
Yeah,
you want to say, call it out.
Good night. Salute.
Yes. Good show, Tony. Good show. Good show. Now, I'm gonna go do this thing for Colonel King, man, because I'm